some of the crimes we have aggravated robberies, aggravated assaults, thefts, all that petty stuff.
Now, does that have any correlation with like the homeless population or anything like that, or is it just the area?
Nah, it's just the area, man. Houston is the most diverse city.
Yeah.
So now we have we have so many different Hispanic gangs now coming down the street. We have like a lot of blood gangs and stuff like that, which they don't be out on the corners or anything like that.
Are you part of the resource officers too? Like you going to the schools?
Yeah, yes sir.
So how, knowing that you could be the first interaction that any kid has with an officer.
Yeah.
How do you burden that? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause some kids you do have to reprimand, and some kids, some kids that you don't have to reprimand. But
first, you try to build a rapport between you and the kid. Majority of kids, and when I say kids, I'm talking like teenagers and also younger. What they looking for somebody that they can trust. Okay. Once you tell your story to them, because everybody has a story, right? And you build that trust between them. And talking to these kids, I tell them my story. Hey man, I didn't grow up with both parents or anything like that, And then they start relating to you. They go, oh man, wow, that's crazy that this person, the police officer, and he ain't grew up with both parents, or he grew up with one parent, or whatever the case may be. And you genuine about it. You're not talking down to them. You're talking with them. Okay, and then they start building trust. And the first couple times, remember the first 2-3 times, you might not get to that kid. It might have been their dad or their mother or a loved one that they love told them they were gonna do something and didn't do it. As long as you own up to what you said you're gonna do for these kids or to these kids or and anything like that, and they start trusting you, you can get to these kids, man. And that's how I get to them. I'm not ashamed of my past or anything like that. I tell them, how I grew up, between my mother and dad and stuff like that, who was on drugs and stuff like that. I let them know the whole story, because one, a lot of them not gonna tell you their story because they're afraid of what somebody might think of them. And then once I tell my story at the beginning, it'll be one or two of them be like, hey, yeah, I stay with my dad because my mother's doing this and this, and that's the only thing, and I try my best, whatever resources I have to help these guys out, whether I have to come out of my own pocket for it or whatever the case may be. And it's all simple stuff, and listen, it's been promising for this about a year and a half. It's been promising,
Well, that's one of the main reasons why we do these programs, because the kids, they need trust. They need someone to look up to, or someone they can relate to, and not so far-fetched. And so what we try to do is bring them to, I don't want to say bring them to our level to communicate, but be a mutual ground where we come down to their level so they can understand the communication. Because a lot of the times it's the awareness on things. The kids make a mistake because they have no options of awareness of not to do here or not to do that there or go here or go not where. So it's a matter of providing options and providing some type of programming. Just trust, just trust somebody and go to and say, man, Officer Burrell, I ain't got nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
Can you help me? And I get these calls all the time from kids that we mentor and all this stuff. Like, hey, Coach, Ali, I ain't got nowhere to stay. All right, let me. I can't afford to house you for a month, but let me call Marriott and work a deal out where I can pay for a week, but I can get you 2 weeks. So there's things that they might not have the knowledge or not know the trust to come to ask for help. And a lot of times it's about asking for help, and a lot of times they don't go asking for help. Man. So I want to thank both of y'all for taking time to help me and help us impact the community, because that's where it starts, man. That's why I do this.
Of course.
Because you see the kids, you're like, man, I was you. And so you want to try to grab them and try to no, you don't got, you got to do it like this. Yeah. You can do it like this and still do like this, but do it like this, or just give them another way, another option. But it's just hard when you don't have the support of the people that should be supporting you, and trying to make a difference in the community. But if your calling is that, then you'll make a difference,
Yes, sir. So, like I said, man, it's crazy that me and D got a similar story. We was talking before before you guys, and we was just talking about just like where we grew up and how we grew up and stuff. And it's very similar, you know. So, you know, and we in two different professions, you know. So, you know, it's just a blessing, you know, that we can all come together for our futures. Because all these kids, like I tell them, hey man, just be passionate about whatever you do, you know. And like I was telling D, my main thing is, man, if you got some type of self-discipline and self-motivation, and you respect for yourself and others, man, you're gonna be successful in life.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whatever you do.
You'll be successful, baby.
Good job.